Hello friends, welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by The Guild. Let's start with some rumors. First up, is Tony Romo going to win an Emmy? Well, 2 stars on this one because Romo is actually up for a sports Emmy, believe it or not, in his first year broadcasting with CBS. Romo was nominated for the Outstanding Sports Personality as a sports event analyst. Also nominated were guys like Kirk Herbstreit, John Smoltz, John Gruden as well. So some known names in there as well. I don't know if anyone has actual odds for if Romo's going to win the sports Emmy. That's why it's only 2 stars. It is his first year, but a very promising future for Romo in the broadcasting world. Hello friends, I am Tom Downey. Follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney for more Cowboys coverage. We're going to take you through some more rumors here, but for those of you watching the show for the first time, here's what we mean when we say there's a 1-star, a 2-star, or a 3-star rumor. If you see 0 stars, it's fake news. It's the number of fights Odell Beckham won against the net. Do not buy it. 1 star means there's a small shred of truth. Probably not going to come true though, so don't quite buy into it. 2 stars means it's firmly in that rumor category and people are talking. 3 stars means it's pretty likely, it's not quite a done deal, not quite set in stone yet, but keep an eye out for it. And 4 stars means that Dez caught it because, well, the NFL's changed the rule now because, yeah, Dez caught that ball against the Packers. Number 2, is Randy Gregory Reinstatement coming up here? We've mentioned this many a time on the show. We bumped it to 3 stars earlier last week, and it's still 3 stars here. It does sound very likely that Gregory is going to apply for reinstatement. He is currently on track for that, but still has not yet filed the paperwork. That's why it's 3 stars and not quite 4 stars. Jerry Jones, by the way, confirmed today that Gregory is close to applying for reinstatement. Hasn't quite done it yet. That's why it's 3 stars, but it does sound like it's going to come and come very soon. That brings us to our third rumor, also focusing on Gregory. Do the Cowboys actually want Randy Gregory back? Well, 3 stars on this one. Maybe you've seen some comments about Stephen Jones saying, hey, we're going to approach it as if we're not going to have Randy Gregory back. And that is how the Cowboys are operating. And that's the right way to operate. But it's different than not wanting Gregory to come back to the Cowboys. The report from the Dallas Morning News was the Cowboys would likely do all it could to find a place for Gregory. That puts it in that 3-star rumor category. I am okay with Gregory coming back, but I do want to hear from you guys. Do you want Gregory back on the Dallas Cowboys, or has he just hit his reach and you don't want to deal with him anymore? You want to avoid the headaches that Gregory has caused in the past? I don't think there's a whole lot of risk involved. If he gets suspended again, okay, you cut him and you move on with him like you did Rolando McClain. But with Gregory, he's still very cheap. He's not going to be expensive from that perspective, and he does still have talent. Next up, are Dez and Jerry going to talk pay cut? We're giving this one 3 stars as well. Not quite set in stone. Jerry Jones didn't come out and outright say it, but that's more or less what he implied. Jones had said that, look, quote, we need to talk, referring to he and Dez Bryant. Says he wants to meet with Dez before the end of next week, maybe even this week, although it's Thursday now, so maybe don't get your hopes up on that one. He also implied he's going to work something out with Dez. He was talking about the wide receiver core, so he thinks the 2 guys that we signed, meaning Hearns and Deontay Thompson, and what we might look at the draft, at any level of the draft, plus what we might get worked out with Dez. Read between the lines there, folks. That implies Jerry's going to at least try to get Dez Bryant to take a pay cut. So I want to know from you, what should the Cowboys do with Dez Bryant? Do you want to keep Dez, have him take a pay cut? Do you want him to be traded, or do you want to cut Dez Bryant? Well, for those of you that want that 4th option, that wow face there and a cut, could the Cowboys cut Dez after the NFL draft? We'll break that down after a word from our sponsor, The Guild. Let's break down this rumor then. Could the Cowboys cut Dez after the draft? Well, people are talking. 2 stars on this one, firmly in that rumor category. This one comes from Jordan Schultz, a Yahoo Sports reporter. He says, quote, make no mistake, they will cut Dez Bryant, but it's going to be after the NFL draft. Schultz also added on that one executive, a non-Cowboys executive that I'll mention, by the way, told him there was no way that Dez Bryant isn't going to be cut, that he did not foresee a situation in which Dez is not released from the Cowboys. I thought we were going to be beyond the Dez Bryant getting cut rumors, but apparently not. And Schultz has said that there's no way it's not going to happen. So we'll keep you updated on this Dez Bryant rumor throughout the offseason. I feel like it might not die until we start week 1 of the NFL regular season. Speaking of pay cuts, Do Cole Beasley and Jason Witten need to take some as well? I'm just going to go ahead and give this one star. It's coming from Deion Sanders, which the irony, by the way, of Deion Sanders saying that guys needed to take a pay cut because, well, Deion never took a pay cut in his life. Deion says that, yeah, you can make mentions about Dez taking a pay cut. Why not Jason Witten and Cole Beasley? Well, here's the issue with that, primetime. Beasley's already kind of cheap. Like, I know that you may not want to, that we may cut Beasley or trade Beasley, but he's not exactly an expensive player. Jason Witten is not all that much overpaid either. In reality, he's already a franchise icon, and he restructured his deal already as well, though that didn't cost Witten any extra cash on that end. So I get the mindset here, and I get that you're going to have to move on from one of these wide receivers, but I do think it's fair to mention pay cuts around Dez Bryant because he did not live up to expectations. I don't really know if Beasley or Witten are the guys you're going to try and make pay cuts with. You can trade Beasley or cut Beasley, but I don't think a pay cut is the route to go on that end. Number 7, as we get to now some NFL draft talk, one of my favorite things in the world. How about Connor Williams, the Texas offensive tackle to the Cowboys? 2 stars on this one. Williams says he's going to take a visit to the Cowboys here. Now, he played left tackle at Texas. However, because of his short arms, he could move inside to offensive guard. He's a really good athlete, not the biggest guy in terms of body mass and weight, and the short arms as well are an issue. He could be an option at number 19 overall. I think this is kind of Dallas more checking some boxes, doing their due diligence. I don't think that Williams is going to be a pick for the Cowboys, but there are other guys, Will Hernandez, Isaiah Wynn, that makes sense there. So I want to know from you, do you want the Cowboys to take an offensive lineman in the first round? Give me a like for a yes and a wow face for a no. So Williams checks in there as our number 7 rumor. Let's get to number 8 as we keep working through some draft inches and tidbits here. Taven, Bryan, and the Cowboys. 2 stars on this one as well. Look, Rod Marinelli was very much active in Taven Bryant's pro day, working him out, taking him through some drills there as well. And this actually didn't surprise me at all. I think Taven Bryant is a classic Rod Marinelli defensive lineman. He's a great athlete, has great burst, actually one of the better athletes at defensive tackle overall, but he's still raw. He's just an athletically gifted defensive tackle. I think he's going to be a round 1, late round 1 guy. I don't want Dallas to go get a 3 technique, but if they do, Bryan along with Mil Hurst of Michigan are some of the top options. Speaking of defense, could the Cowboys draft BYU linebacker Fred Warner? 2 stars on this one as well because the Cowboys are also going to meet with Warner. And this is actually a really intriguing visit to me because Warner is a fantastic athlete. He's one of those safety linebacker hybrid types. I think he's going to play a linebacker, not the biggest guy, but he's got the speed the Cowboys like at the position. I think he is a late day 2, early day 3 option. The Cowboys, I think, will draft a linebacker. Warner could be a guy if they don't spend an early round pick on the position. 3 more draft notes for you guys, then we'll break down the Cowboys' free agency. At number 10, how about DJ Moore and the Dallas Cowboys? Moore confirmed at his pro day he's going to take a visit with the Cowboys, and I like DJ Moore a lot. I thought he had a good year for Maryland. Surprised me that at the Combine came in bigger, stronger, and faster than I thought he was going to. He will visit on April 3rd. He already gave out a specific date in which he'll be down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I don't think he's going to last at the Cowboys' 2nd-round pick, put up similar athletic numbers to Sammy Watkins, so that's kind of the comp that you're looking for there on that end. Speaking of wide receivers, number 11 on our rumor roundup today, Courtland, Sutton, and the Cowboys. Again, 2 stars on this one. Jason Garrett went to Sutton's pro day and chatted with Sutton as well. Garrett, as near as I can tell, was the only head coach at the pro day for SMU. He is a first-round option. I mean, Sutton is a first-round option for the Cowboys if they want to go wide receiver. And that actually brings us to our last rumor of the day. Number 12, will the Cowboys draft a wide receiver? I'm giving this one 3 stars because, yeah, I think it's pretty darn likely. The Cowboys continue to show interest, continue to bring in guys for visits after they signed Allen Hurns, after they signed Deontay Thompson. Where there is smoke, there is fire. I think the Cowboys absolutely want to spend a wide receiver, and it could be a round 1 or round 2 pick as well. If that's the case, that also means that several Cowboys wide receivers, and I do mean several because there are already a lot on the roster, are going to have to go. In particular, if I'm Cole Beasley, I know the pay cut that doesn't make any sense for him. I'd be concerned about his roster spot. He could be a trade candidate. But I do want to know from you guys, should the Cowboys draft a wide receiver early? I will say yes with a big caveat. if there's no good defensive players on the board or if they have already upgraded an offensive guard by then. I don't think wide receiver is the biggest need right now. I want to get that defense better and even maybe upgrade it at the offensive guard spot so that Cam Fleming can be your swing tackle.